Thank you. What's up everybody, welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am here with the Lexus GX 550. This one is the Luxury Plus, essentially fully loaded as far as the non-off-road variants go. And today we're going to be taking a nice long drive with it. Lexus has sent it to me for an entire week so that I could really get familiar with it and give you guys the most thorough review possible. Alright, so as always, we're going to start off with the ride quality. So the suspension setup is an independent double wishbone in the front and a multi-link with coil springs in the rear. It feels like a typical Lexus, has a very floaty feel to it. It's composed, it handles impacts well, and it just provides for a really premium riding experience. This Luxury Plus trim has 22-inch wheels. Now some of the lower trim levels do have a smaller wheel size. I have not driven any other vehicles aside from this Luxury Plus, so I can't attest to the ride quality with the smaller wheel size. Typically, smaller wheel size and fatter sidewall correlates with a smoother ride, less harsh ride, and a quieter ride. But even with the 22-inch wheels, this still has a 50 series sidewall, so that's not exactly a low-profile tire. So there's still plenty of cushion with a 50 series sidewall. You can feel some vibration through the tires, but not much. Aside from how smooth the ride is, the other thing that makes a Lexus feel like a Lexus is how quiet it is in the interior. For the most part, the only noise you get in the interior is the engine, because we do have a twin-turbo V6, so it does get a little bit loud sometimes. In normal city driving like this, it doesn't produce any kind of crazy sound, but once you're up to highway speeds, going higher RPMs, then the engine does get pretty loud. But at these lower speeds, nice and serene on the inside, very quiet. It's what you come to expect from a Lexus. Good sound deadening materials. Quietness is also a key indicator of build quality. Lexus always has great build quality, always just feels really nice and solid. Got a little obstacle course out here, all right. On the topic of fuel economy, well, the fuel economy numbers are just as bad as you would think they are for a giant body-on-frame SUV with a twin-turbo V6. We're looking at 15 city, 21 highway, and 17 combined, so be ready for quite a few trips to the gas station. And now that brings us to power figures. We have a 3.4 liter twin-turbo V6, puts out 349 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. And that is all paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission. And before heading into this acceleration test, let's go through the different drive modes. So you can see the drive mode selector is this little dial over here, and you can see the animations pop up in the gauge cluster when I go through them. So there is a custom mode where you can customize the different parameters. We have Sport Plus, Sport, Normal, Comfort, and Eco. And for our acceleration test, I'm going to be putting it in Sport Plus. Uphill, so that's something to keep in mind. So we're going to come to a full stop and So I love how this 10-speed automatic does not shift too quickly. In other vehicles I've driven that have had 10-speed automatics, sometimes I find that you can't even reach redline because it just shifts way too quickly, much lower down in the RPMs. Acura, I'm talking specifically to you. This lets you rev all the way to redline, which is a hair under 6,000, right around like 57, 5,800. In like other systems that shift too quickly, it's like you don't even get to take advantage of the full horsepower and torque because it just shifts into next gear before it even reaches the full amount. But the transmission in here, paired with that twin turbo V6, shifts very smoothly, I think very efficiently, and very good power delivery from the engine. Tiny bit of turbo lag off the line, but then you can feel that low-end torque kick in fairly quickly. So now we're going to take it out on the highway and see how it does out there. I just love the feeling of when that torque kicks in. The only additional noise we get here out on the highway is the wind noise coming from, I guess, the edges of the windows. More so in the back. In the front, it's a lot quieter, but I can hear quite a bit of wind noise coming in through the back windows. But noise coming in from like other vehicles around me is like zero. Handles these bumps really well. Now I do have it in Sport Plus, so when going over the bumps, the suspension is a little bit tighter in Sport Plus than in the other drive modes. So it does feel just a smidge stiffer going over those bumps, but going over those bumps in comfort mode, whole different story. It's like you can barely feel them. Engine sounds really good too. Alright, now while we're out here on the highway, we're going to test out the adaptive cruise control. So first we got to make sure lane keep assist is turned on. See it there in the head-up display. Set the following distance, and the speed is at 53 miles an hour. So let's see how long before it yells at me to put my hands on the wheel. Okay, it's doing a good job at maintaining that following distance. Up, there's the warning. Okay, so give it a nudge whenever it does that. So far, we're doing a good job at keeping centered in the lane, no drifting back and forth. Okay, now that car's leaving the lane. All right, so now we're not quite accelerating, just a little bit. Okay, so now, let's see, speed is at 54. I'm gonna up that to 56. I think it's good that this system, it's not in like a rush to try to bridge the gap with the, you know, like however you have the following distance set, and then if the vehicle in front of you leaves the lane, it's not like, okay, I have all this space, let me launch. Because some vehicles do that. Okay, so now we're slowing down. We have a vehicle in front of us. Good job on that. So overall, that's a pretty solid adaptive cruise control system. I drove the one in the NX a few months ago. It was slightly iffy, but this one I think was done much better. This Lexus GX 550 Luxury Plus has a 21 speaker Mark Levinson audio system, so let's take a listen. thing I can say for sure about this system is that it handles high volumes really well. Even like the bassiest music that I listen to, I can pretty much listen to on max volume and it still sounds pretty good, undistorted. It loses a tiny bit of the low end, like the punch to it. Once you have it all the way at max volume, it only compresses it just ever so slightly, but I'm impressed with the levels that it can handle. But in terms of the actual sound quality, I find some of the mid-range frequencies to sound just a little bit muddy, but that's only just a little bit. I think I'm nitpicking here, but it's a very enjoyable system to listen to. So unfortunately, my favorite back roads where I like to show the steering and handling are inaccessible. There was a brush fire there yesterday, so the reservation is closed today. Steering has really nice weight to it, even in comfort mode. It is pretty quick to respond. There is a little bit of feedback you can feel in it, but not much. I feel like the suspension kind of isolates most of the feeling out of it. Now, as far as handling, well, this isn't something you want to throw into corners. This is a tall, body-on-frame, high center of gravity, large SUV, and, well, it drives like one. I certainly wouldn't hit any hard corners at high speed. Four-wheel drive system does a good job at keeping everything planted. I've been driving around with it in high 4. You really only use low 4 for off-roading, which, you know, some people do take this off-roading. It is off-roading capable, but I'm gonna guess the majority of buyers for the GX probably are not doing that. So that's gonna wrap up this test drive of the Lexus GX 550 Luxury Plus. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And a big thank you to Lexus for sending me the GX to keep for an entire week so that I can give you guys the most thorough review possible. Let me know down in the comments what other vehicles you want to see on the channel next, and be sure to follow @OpticalAutomotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.